Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do click that subscribe button. We're on the way now to 10,700 subscribers. We hit 10,600, which is great. And if you could smash a like on the video as well, that massively helps because it pushes the video further and I would be incredibly grateful. Lots to talk about today. News on Arteta's contract. I kind of want to throw some names out there that we've spoken about before, but not in much depth. And I think there's value in the market. So I want to get your opinion on that. But look, there's loads of you here. It's a Wednesday evening. We're over halfway through the week. Icarus, Emilio, Junior Films, Ali, Pekka, Tom, Francisco Oliveira, Luke Jacobs, Ethan Udall, Vivi Vlad, Hyper, Gabe, Jakob, Leeds Gunner, James Bidder, Churms, Eric, Adam, Lukey, Saliba, James, Carter, Mohammed, Leo the Gooner, Wilsey, Tentego, Hannah, Dave, Oslo Gooner, and many, many more. It is good to see you. Ads before the stream? That's a disgrace. I don't know why you're getting ads. I apologize for that. But look, it is good to see you. Lots of transfer news today from John Cross and Sammy Mockbell. Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. Sammy Mockbell, top tier. Very, very much like it. Excellent. John Cross in the mirror feels like it's written by me. And what I mean by that is Sammy Mockbell knows stuff. John Cross speculates. John Cross's articles are basically if I wrote an article based on what I think is probably happening. But look, it's there nonetheless, and we will talk about it. Ads are the worst. Yeah, I apologize for that. If you get ads, I don't know why that is. I always get it. I don't know why. I'm good though, thank you. I am good. So the news from Sammy Mockbell. This is the big one, I suppose. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is heading into formal contract talks on course to become one of the best paid bosses in the Premier League. He is set to be the highest paid manager in Arsenal history, which is unsurprising. The new deal is expected to be worth more than £10 million a year. And look, fair play to him. I respect it. I think he's earned it. And if that's what you look, 10 million a year to keep him, no problem. No problem. That's double what Cedric Suarez earned this year. You know? I don't mean to do Cedric like that, but come on now. Hopefully the internet's fine today. We'll find out as the stream goes on. We can all keep our fingers crossed that the internet survives today. But look, 10 million for Mikel Arteta. Happy days. I guess the only slightly concerning thing is that they haven't. The reason that they've not had formal contract talks yet is because he's on holiday and Edu's on holiday. So that's the main reason as it stands that they've not had any contact. Is Archie Gray any good? We've been linked to him. Yeah, we were actually. I didn't write that down. Who linked us to Archie Gray today? Let me just quickly tell you who linked us to Archie Gray because we were linked to him. And I can't remember who it was and I didn't write it down. It was Fabrizio, actually. It was Fabrizio today. Arsenal have been one of a number of clubs linked with Archie Gray at Leeds United. There's interest in Gray from Germany and England for sure. Leeds were hoping to keep both Gray and Crescencio Somerville, but it might be difficult now after they missed out on promotion to the Premier League. So yes, I expect movement on these two players, and we will see how Leeds react. So that comes after the news that Leeds owe £190 million in credit to other clubs for players that they've bought. Archie Gray's a good player. I think really he's a 6. He's been playing at right back for Leeds, but I think really he's a 6. There's a lot of Liverpool fans are very confident that he's going to Liverpool this summer. But according to Fabrizio Romano, we're linked to him. So it would be an interesting one. Look, he's very young. For his age, he's incredibly composed on the ball. It has to be said, for his age, he is very relaxed and talented. Very talented, but we'll see how that goes. He's a Kimmich regen. Yeah, do you know what? Actually, his play style probably isn't that dissimilar to Joshua Kimmich, actually. But yeah, interesting one. Not sure how much you can read into it at this point. Obviously, I think it's very easy to link every club to Leeds players at the moment because we all know that Leeds have got to sell them. Backup for Benny then, nice. Yeah, possibly. And a different route, I suppose. I mean, maybe Arteta sees it again as someone that can invert, given that he's a defensive midfielder. Does he have the physicality? Not yet. He doesn't have the physicality yet, in my opinion. But that's something that'll just come with age. That'll come with age. Zirkzee's more like a 10. Kind of. We'll talk about Zirkzee. In fact, we'll talk about it now. So the reason that I bring Zirkzee up is, according to Gazzetta, which is an Italian outlet, obviously he currently plays at Bologna in Italy, Zirkzee has a £34 million release clause that will be valid between the 1st of July and the 15th of August. So that release clause actually, unlike, for example, the Bruno Guimaraes release clause, which ends at the end of June, which makes it really problematic for FFP, Zirkzee starts at the start of July, which is ideal for FFP. Gazzetta is a shit source. It's not a very good source, but it's not like they've made a massive claim here to say that he's got a 34 million release clause. He has the football intelligence. Yeah, Archie Gray does have football intelligence. So look, I'm not saying he does have a release clause. Gazzetta, look, they may well be wrong. But if he does, I think that becomes a serious target. If we're not going for the top-end striker, if we're not going for the Gyökeres or whoever else, the Isak, the Gyökeres, the Osimhen, if we're going that step below, I think Zirkzee looks far better value than Benjamin Sesko. If Zirkzee is 34 million and Sesko now is 65 million because of the way that his release clause gained value at the end of the season because of his performances, you're talking about paying nearly double for Sesko that you'd be paying for Zirkzee. And I'm not convinced on that. I mean, even if they were the same price, even if they were both 50, I'd be weighing it up. But for there to be 30 million difference in them, and we'll bring it up again. We'll bring it up because it's a while since we showed what Zirkzee was like. 23 years old, so slightly older than Sesko. But he's been dropped from the Netherlands squad for the Euros, which I found really surprising, to be quite honest. I like this. I like this. Now, as a striker in that league, his goal output isn't the best, really. 34 games, 32 starts in Serie A, 11 goals, 4 assists. So less than a goal or assist every 2 games, which I suppose isn't brilliant. How tall is he? What's 193 centimeters? He's tall. He's tall. I think that's like what, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", I think. Mika Biereth worth a punt? I think Mika Biereth's going on loan, personally. Yeah, Zirkzee getting dropped for Wout Weghorst, I found quite remarkable. Truthfully, the end of the season hasn't been as good for Zirkzee. Within apart from a goal and assist against Roma, he blanked in 7 out of the final 8 games, which isn't ideal. In terms of where his goals come from, primarily in the box, 1 from outside the box. Like I said, this, for a striker, I suppose you'd say, is not ideal. Passing is decent. In possession, he can dribble with the ball well. This I like. I mean, ultimately, to be fair, I look for the greenery and there's not a crazy amount of it, but Zirkzee is someone that I've watched more of. And I do think his game is there. His game is there. His game is better than these stats reflect, to be quite honest. The amount of aerial duels he wins isn't brilliant, considering that he is 6 foot, whatever, but he drops so deep. Well, this is the thing. Annoyingly, I don't think FOTMAP has a heat map. Which is annoying because you're right. In terms of touches, compared to most strikers, he takes a lot. And it's because he is much more of a link-up player. Which again, and I've said it with Gyökeres, I do think that's something that Arteta's going to want to bring in. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does go for a Sesko or an Osimhen. I don't think we're going for Osimhen, but more that style. But I mean, if you compare it with Sesko, and this is if we're going for that kind of second rung down. I don't like that already. 20 years old, same height, Sesko only started 17 games. He got 14 goals. So that is significantly more impressive, to be fair. And the key thing is, so this is far better. That's grim reading. That is grim reading. That's grim reading. This is a completely different style. And it's a style that we simply haven't had, really, in the squad. So if we want to go for that, then fair enough. And look, if Arteta goes for that, I'll assume he knows what he wants, and I'd back it. But I'm just not sure it's the way that we play. I'm just not sure it's the way we play. I've watched him play a couple of times, and Sesko is shit. Yeah, but it depends when you've watched him play. It depends when you've watched him play, because I watched him in the Champions League against Real Madrid, and I thought he was quite poor. But I've seen him more recently in the league, and I think he looked decent. So it's tough. But like judging someone, and I don't know what games you've seen him play. You might have seen him play different games, but like I feel like judging someone in a Champions League game's not necessarily the fairest. Can I compare their injury record? I can compare their injury record. Yeah, let me bring that up. I don't think either of them have really had many injuries, to be honest. So Zirkzee's injury record, he had a ligament injury. He's not missed many games. He had an inner ligament injury in 2021, which kept him out for 72 days. That's the longest injury he's ever had. Last season, he missed 6 games in total. 3 with an adductor injury and 3 with inflammation. And this season, he had a hamstring injury that missed 2 games in March, but he was only out for 3 weeks. And he had another hamstring injury towards the end. So maybe the hamstring something to worry about potentially. But nothing, certainly not alarm bells ringing. Certainly not alarm bells ringing. And then Sesko, I mean, he's 20 years old. I can't imagine his history is that bad. No, Sesko had 3. I mean, he had 3 separate injuries in the 21-22 season. Torn muscle fiber kept him out for 4 games. Thigh problems kept him out for 3 games. And then another torn muscle fiber kept him out for 6 games. No injuries in the past 2 seasons. No injury last season. No injury this season. So, neither of them, I think, from an injury perspective, neither of them are on Gyökeres's level of no injuries, basically, in history. But yeah, so I think Zirkzee's an interesting one, because I think if you look at all of the options that are out there, I think 34 million release clause seems interesting. Never. The Gyökeres steam train is still, I am still captain. We are still full steam ahead. I just don't think Mikel Arteta is ready to board. I don't think Arteta and Edu are ready to board the Gyökeres steam train yet. And I think that could be the problem. Big up Rory, my fellow Gooner. I just want to say I got gifted a membership to your channel 2 days ago, but sorry for the lateness of this info, but I'm glad to become a member. Come on, you Gunners for life. You're welcome, Boss Bubbler. It was probably Max. I can't tell you for certain, but it was almost certainly AFC Max. So yeah, welcome to the channel. Let's see what Sesko does in your group. True. We will be able to watch Benjamin Sesko in our group at the Euros. I didn't think about that. That is a very good point. Is De Jong still a possibility? He's better and cheaper. De Jong as in not Frankie De Jong, the other De Jong. What's his first name again? Luke De Jong. You talking about Luke De Jong? We're not signing a 33-year-old. He's 34 this summer. We're not signing Luke De Jong. I mean, to be fair, that is outrageous. That is actually outrageous. That's probably the best. That is probably the best map that we've actually seen out of anyone. But we're not. And I mean, 29 goals and 15 assists in 34 games. I genuinely think only Gyökeres really is better than that. Frankie De Jong? No, but why would we go for Frankie De Jong? Frankie de Jong's not cheap, though. Better than Bruno? Oh, you meant Frankie de Jong. But you said he's cheap. Frankie de Jong's not cheap. What do you mean? Better and cheaper than who? Who are you even talking about? Frankie de Jong's... Who do you think Frankie de Jong's going to be cheaper than? Because he ain't going to be cheap. I mean, I like Frankie de Jong. I'm a big fan. But I don't even know who you're comparing him to price-wise. I mean, people know I'm a fan. I mean, yeah. I mean, I am a fan, but 60 mil? I don't think you get him for 60 mil. The other issue is his wages. I thought you were talking about Luke de Jong. To be honest, Luke de Jong's stat map has just blown me away. I can't believe it. Sensational. Rory, the most important game of all of the season is tonight. Now, the real question is, who do you got, Olympiacos or Fiorentina? I think Fiorentina will win. I do back Fiorentina to win it. Frankie's staying because Flick loves him. I didn't know that, but that could be true. I didn't know that. What do you think about Kefren Turam as an 8 for us? I've just accidentally put someone in timeout. I don't even know how I did that. Matthias Fernandez, if you're watching this, I've just accidentally timed you out. I'm so sorry. Matthias Fernandez, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. I'm sorry. I think you'll be back in 10 minutes. I don't know how I did that. I was trying to click on this. What do you think about Kefren Turam as an 8 for us? You'll be back in 10 minutes, I think, Matthias. I'm so sorry. I think as a backup option, he's all right. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I think as a backup option, Turam's all right, but it's certainly not someone that I'd be going for straight off the bat. Certainly not someone I'd be going for straight off the bat. You can untime him out. You can on YouTube, but not on the thing I'm using. There's no option to untime him out. It just says he's gone. So I apologize. One of the mods should be able to do it, though. One of the mods should be able to do it. Grandpa Rory back at it again. Honestly, it makes me feel so old. I'm fucking useless. Anyway, he'll be back. Get him back. Yeah, he'll be back in time for Guess the Gooner. Anyway, the other player that I wanted to talk about is Alvaro Valles, or Valle. I don't know how you pronounce it. Now, I think someone actually mentioned him on stream before, and we looked him up, and I was just baffled. I didn't know who the hell you were on about. But it is this guy. A goalkeeper for Las Palmas. And this is someone that I'm looking at as a potential backup to David Raya. And the thing that caught my eye today was a stat from Squawker. Alvaro Valles was the ultimate sweeper keeper in Europe's top 7 leagues in 23-24. And his sweeping stats were sublime compared, and you can see it there, compared to any other keeper. High claims is all right. And that's the other thing that I look at. I think the 3 things you look at for the David Raya backup: sweeper, long ball accuracy, although we figured out the other day Raya's is actually terrible because of the way that we play, and then high claims. If he could work on this slightly, this could be the guy. Apparently he's worth about 15 million euros, according to Transfer Market, so you'd be looking at about 12 million quid. But I like him. And I think, age profile, 26 years old, decent. I think this one could be an interesting one. He could literally go to a Champions League club as a starter or being phased in as one. He could do. I don't know if he could do. If he could do that, then fair play, probably go and do it. But if he can't do that, I think he'd push Raya. Could be an investment. I mean, you'd struggle if he did end up just on the bench. Feel like he's too good to be a backup. Do you know who else is too good to be a backup? Stefan Ortega. Again, I feel like this is where we have to Arteta really trying to Spanishify the squad? No, this is me. There are no links as it stands to Alvaro Valles. This is not a Arteta hasn't claimed any liking him. This is just me. Stefan Ortega is too good to be a backup, but he is a backup. Now, he might not be for long, to be fair. But, again, I do think that's what you... Imagine Raya gets injured next season and we've messed around this summer and we don't bring in a proper backup and we go, it's only the backup goalkeeper. And then Raya gets injured. Absolute carnage. Like, you can't afford that. So, this is a guy, and it's one that, look, we say, okay, come in, even if it's only for a year or two. He'd still then be 27, 28 and can move on. So I think it's an interesting one. But the best sweeper keeper in the entirety of Europe's top 7 leagues, I quite like the sound of it. So just thought I'd throw it out there, Martin Obi scored the equaliser and scored in the shootout win for Denmark today. He did. Chido Obi Martin, the under-17s Euros, which is quite interesting. Obviously, Nwaneri's playing in it for England. He scored 2 goals in the tournament already, 2 nice goals. England have got Italy in the next round. And then Denmark, which is Chido Obi Martin's team, will play against the winner of Italy and England. His goal was unfortunate for the goalkeeper, though. Decent strike, but it bounced just in front of the keeper and he had a bit of a nightmare. But still, big game player. I know an underrated, unknown, mysterious midfielder we could sign. Xhaka. No, I don't think we're going back for Xhaka, unfortunately. James Trafford's too good to be a backup keeper as well. I don't think he is. I think he proved that he's not good enough to be a number 1 keeper yet, in my opinion. That was why Muric replaced him, but I think Arteta will get Isak. I don't want Joshua Zirkzee. I'm really, really praying we get Isak or Gyökeres, as they will improve Arsenal 10 times. I think Arteta really wants Isak. We know he does previously. We were linked to him previously. And we know that Arteta doesn't really like to give up on his targets. But I just think it's going to be exceptionally difficult to get him out of Newcastle. Same with Bruno G. Newcastle have maintained if Bruno Guimaraes' release clause isn't triggered, he is not going to be sold this summer. They have said it and reiterated it. If the deadline, which is June 31st, for Bruno G's release clause, if that deadline passes, he's not being sold. So, and Isak doesn't even have one. So I think it's going to be very difficult. He's back. I'm sorry, Matthias. I'm glad you stuck around and haven't just left the channel forever. It was a complete accident. Not sure you talked on Rashford rumours. Been working like crazy, but I want to know your thoughts about that. Yeah, we did speak about the Rashford rumours. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the difference in valuation from us and United on Rashford because of brand Rashford is too much. Rashford's wages are too much. He's on 400 grand a week and that contract runs till 2028. I think we worked it out. What did we say? He'd lose about... If he came into Arsenal and was on 250k a week, which would make him our 2nd or 3rd highest paid player, he'd lose out on about £30 million over the course of the rest of his contract. So, yeah, it's not for me. And I just don't think it'll happen. Do you think we should sign Mason Melia? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Who is that? This guy. Oh, the Irish kid. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about him. I don't know, to be honest with you. I got no idea. Started 7 games and scored 2 goals. I've got no idea. I've got no idea about him, to be quite honest. No idea. Maybe. I don't know. I know nothing about him. So I can't really say. Imagine if Arsenal had this current squad, but had also got on Isak and Douglas Luiz when they wanted them. Yeah, it would have been mad. Speaking of Douglas Luiz, I think it was John Cross today said Arsenal will be looking at teams that have to sell this summer. And one of those apparently is Aston Villa. So we may be interested in going back in for Douglas Luiz. No updates on Kadioglu since we last spoke about him. We might go back for Douglas Luiz. Everton are another club that really are going to have to sell. But again, we keep falling into this same issue, right? Everton have to sell players before the end of June to basically, Everton are in danger of getting us another significant points deduction next season if they don't balance the books for the 3 years up to the end of June. But again, so they need to sell players by the end of June, but other clubs can't buy those players by the end of June because we're all tied by FFP. There's this ongoing issue of we just can't do it. There's just this ongoing issue. So I don't really know. You know, there are some Everton players that we could potentially be interested in. Branthwaite is one, Onana is another. But it's like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. When do you expect transfers to start happening this summer with the Euros delaying a lot of things? I think a lot of them will happen after the Euros because the transfer window officially opens on the 14th of June, the Friday, which is the same Friday that the Euro starts. And most of the national coaches won't let their players be involved in transfer talk and all of that stuff through the tournament. So the majority, obviously, players that aren't at the Euros or at Copa America, it's not a problem. But for the players that are at the tournaments, it's gonna have to happen after the tournament. It can't happen before it. So I think there's going to be a big flurry. I think there's going to be a big, because really, even the players, right? Even the players they'll have gone on holiday. They might still just about be on holiday, and then they'll be going and they'll be linking up with the national squad. There's not a period now before the start of the window for them to sort those deals out. So I think it's going to be a mad month. I tell you now, I think it's going to be a mad, not even a month. It's going to be a mad, I don't even know. Like straight after the end of the Euros and Copa America, there's like 3 weeks until the start of pre-season. And a lot of managers, including Arteta desperately wants to get the major business done before pre-season tour. That's like 3 weeks. And then if you assume that some of those players will probably go on holiday again after the Euros, it's going to be mad. It is. I think it's going to be absolute chaos. And we will be here for it. So make sure you're subscribed because we'll be live every day. And if you could like the video, there's 200 and something of you in here. So if you can all like the video, get us to 100 likes. Stop what you're doing. Stop typing a message. Just click the like button. Thank you. Thank you very much. Could we see Timber at CDM? Yeah, I said I could see that. I said I see games where Timber could play in midfield. Yeah. Because if not, let's say we do bring in Kadioglu, for example. I could see games where you've got Kadioglu at left back, Ben White at right back, and Timber in midfield. Possibly. Are you going to do a load of Tifo watch-alongs for the Euros? I will be, yeah. Yeah, we're live on Tifo for the Champions League final on Saturday night as well. Link to Tifo's down in the description. Link to Twitch is also down in the description. We'll be live again on Twitch tonight playing some games. About 10 o'clock until about midnight. So all the good stuff's down in the description. Get yourselves involved. Summer transfer window, Rory live streams it different. Yeah, you know it. Last season was great. Last summer was great. Rice 8, Timber 6. Yeah, possibly. Or even Rice 6, Timber 8, to be honest. Looks like Brighton will be nipping out into the footballing definition of Poundland. Yeah. Yeah. Will you do a Tifo for the UCL final? Yes. We'll be live on Tifo for the UCL final. Smithy will be there. We could potentially sell a lot of players before the Euros or start a lot of negotiations due to them not being at the Euros. Yeah, we can sell players. We can sell any of our players that aren't going to, most of the players that we're selling aren't going to be at the Euros. We can sell them during the Euros, no problem, or Copa America or whatever. Fabio Vieira, if we were to sell him, he's not going. Smith Rowe's not going, and Nketiah's not going. Reece Nelson's not going. Nuno Tavares isn't going. I think Kieran Tierney's pretty much the only player that is going that we might sell. Maybe Zinchenko, maybe if we think we're going to sell him, but no one other than that. Nothing stopping us from bringing in non-Copa America and Euro Championships players. African players, maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, Zirkzee's not going to the Euros, so he'd be available. Is Sambi going? No, Sambi's not going. Sambi isn't going. The Rice announcement video was pure euphoria. It was. I swear, didn't I do the Rice announcement video on my phone? Because didn't Ornstein drop a bomber at I swear Ornstein dropped a bomber at about 11 p.m. and everyone had gone to sleep. So I had to do an emergency video on my phone, whispering in the living room. They were the days. Not sure if you've been asked, but what business do you think City do this summer? I think City do Bruno G. I think Bruno Guimaraes works perfectly for City in terms of the complementary player for Rodri. I think they're probably going to buy a new winger. I know you've got Savio. I don't know if you support City. I'm saying you as if you do. I'm guessing you do because you asked about them. I know they brought in Savio. I think they'll bring in another winger. I think they're ready to replace Grealish, to be honest, and Bernardo Silva. And if you want to move Foden centrally as well, then I think they'll need a new winger. Outside of that, I don't think much work needs to be done, to be fair. A new goalkeeper, potentially. Ederson's being linked away. Ortega, maybe, steps up. I don't know. But yeah, I think Bruno G will be the big one. Who do you think will actually end up with in midfield? That's a good question. Do you know what the honest answer is? I haven't got a clue right now. The honest answer is that I could sit here and try and make some amazing prediction that I come back to in 3 months' time, and I'm like, I knew all along. I ain't got a clue. Genuinely haven't got a clue. I don't know if we're going big on the midfielder. I don't know if we're going, it's just really difficult to know. But the thing I keep thinking back to is, other than Declan Rice last summer, we had no links to Havertz at this point. We had no links to Timber at this point. We had no links to Raya at this point. So I don't know. Grealish is their Nico Pepe. Am I right? He's worse than Pepe. Statistically, he's worse than Pepe. 3 seasons in the Premier League, 11 goals. That is worse than Pepe. And it cost 100 million. Orny Bomber is so clear of a Fabrizio. Here we go. Oh, it is. Ornstein's the GOAT. To be honest, as time goes on, I really dislike Fabrizio more and more. Not as a person, but the way that Fabrizio does stuff, the way he tweets about the same thing 10 times without really giving an update, the way it's just everything, even when he doesn't know stuff, he just kind of vaguely copies other journalists. And I just feel like it's ruining things a bit, to be honest. I really do. And Ornstein's normally right, especially when it comes to Arsenal stuff. Fabrizio is a Chelsea fan. He's brilliant at what he does. He's done an amazing thing to do what he does, but he is getting paid. He's even got people that I've seen where they were sending out to agents basically a thing saying, we can offer you a Fabrizio tweet about one of your players for X amount of money. Do you think we'll have a new defender to back up Saliba and co? I do still think that that's a priority. I do still think that the lack of a Saliba backup frightens me a little bit. And what I mean by that is really the profile of Saliba. We don't have anyone that can sweep and has the pace to recover that Saliba does from that high line. Like a long-term Saliba injury right now, I think we'd be in trouble. Because whoever it is that you think covers it, it would probably be Ben White. I don't think that's good enough. Timber maybe, but I don't know if Timber's... I don't know if Timber can do it. I think you'd probably see Ben White at centre-back and Timber at right-back, to be honest. Diamande for 40 million is perfect, in my opinion. He could be. Diamande could be a good one. I mean, I really liked him before. I'm slightly concerned about the fact that he lost his place towards the end of the season at Sporting. He's still incredibly young. He's only 20 years old. But Rice at centre-back, we saw that once. It could be. But again, I don't know if he's got the pace for it either, to be fair. Not the Saliba level, anyway. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. Get your fingers on your keyboards because we're starting now. Clue number 1, this player is 28 years old. Clue number 1, this player is 28 years old. Clue number 2, they won the FA Cup with us once in 2020. They won the FA Cup with us once in 2020. Clue number 3, they scored 4 goals in 89 games for us. Clue number 3, they scored 4 goals in 89 games for us. Clue number 4, they joined from Sampdoria in 2018. Clue number 4, they joined from Sampdoria in 2018. And clue number 5, they just won the Turkish Super League. Clue number 5, they just won the Turkish Super League. There we go. Who is the player? Who is the player? It took a long time for people to get it, I think. I don't think a single person got it before clue number 4, which is pretty impressive. Lots of you were going for Tierney. Lots of you were going for Kieran Tierney. But you were all wrong. So there you go. But the right answer and the first person to get it correct was Louis. It was Louis C. It was indeed Lucas Torreira. Louis C got it first. Peter got it second. Ethan Udall got it third. Lathan Harris got it fourth. And Ethan C got it fifth. So there you go. Congratulations. I am just double checking. Yeah. No, that was it. Congratulations to Louis. Job done. Well done. Excellent. Tom thinks he got it first. VAR. Oh, God. We've got a VAR check. Tom thinks he got it first. Right, I'm scrolling upwards from Louis C's message of Torreira. We're looking for Tom. He said KT. He said Pepe. He said Ramsdale. Nope. Goal given to Louis C. I said Lucas. Well, but you didn't say that before. You didn't say that before Louis C, though. You didn't say that before Louis C. I just went through all of the messages that you sent before Louis. I just went through them all. So I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm going for it again. Oh, you're sending me on a wild goose chase here. Nah. I'm sorry, Tom. VAR's confirmed it. It's your Wi-Fi. There you go. Louis C won it. Congratulations to Louis C. Now it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Louis C currently has. 6-month ban. We'll let him off. He's apologizing. We'll let him off. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to say who, but someone just very nearly got it. This player started their career at Sporting Lisbon. They started their career at Sporting Lisbon. They went to Porto. They went to Monaco. They went to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And they went to SC Braga. Sporting, Porto, Monaco, Wolves, SC Braga. Who got it first? Someone early doors said Ruben Neves, and they were close. Who got it first? Now, first, well, here we go. Here we go. This is going to spice it. Here we go. Amar is the first person. He's put Mourinho. Now, I think we give it to him. I think we give Amar the credit in the bank that he doesn't think that I was talking about Jose Mourinho playing for Wolves and that he's accidentally clicked the R that's next to the T on the keyboard and he means Moutinho. That is my decision. Unless there is some sort of severe backlash, I think Amar has won it because I think he's talking about Moutinho. Second is Louis C. Look at that. Louis C's had a great day. Third is, well, again, Mike, if we allow it. Fourth is Sportcat. And fifth is Francisco Oliveira. There you go. There you go. It was indeed Moutinho. I think we give it. I think we give it. I think we give it. Some people don't want to give it. I think you're harsh. I think not giving it would be too harsh. It's one letter away, and I know Mourinho is a person, but he's not an ex-Wolves and Monaco player. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm giving it. Do you know what? Goal given. Amar. I'm not having it. VAR's happy. Ultimately, it's my decision. This is a dictatorship, and I have given it. So, congratulations to Amar. Goal is given. But yeah, whoever said Ruben Neves before I'd even given any clues, that was, you were unlucky. You were unlucky. You've gone soft? I don't think that's soft. I think I make the hard, tough decisions. If he had written Mopinho, you would give it. Yeah. Amar, top 10 respect moments. Yeah. He died. This is democracy manifest. What a clip. What a clip. A meal. A succulent Chinese meal. Worst VAR than the Prem? I disagree. There's an uprising going on. I'll take them all on. I'll take them all on. Where are you? Let's be having you. I am the dictator. I am the dictator, and Amar has won. Do you reckon we should go after Rishi Sunak? He's clinical in front of goal. No, his dribbling ability just wasn't quite good enough for me. Just wasn't quite good enough for me. We need to install automatic guess the Gooner checks. Yeah, I don't know how we do that. We do need automatic checks, though. Speaking of VAR, do you think it will be better or worse next season? It will be just the same. It will be just the same. No one's voting in favour of that thing to scrap it anyway, including Arsenal. So, there you go. Have you seen Sesko's our number one striker for target? Yeah, but isn't that just what John Cross said? I don't think he is. I don't think we have one yet. I don't think we actually have one yet, in all honesty. I appreciate that, Ryan. I do appreciate that. Look, anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. I massively appreciate all of you for joining, as always. If you can like and subscribe before you jump off, that would be awesome. I'll be live again this evening on Twitch. Links in the description. But until then, have a great evening. I'll be live tomorrow evening on here, 6:30 as normal. And yeah, have a good one. Goodbye.